called You, Me, Them, Everybody, and this is our holiday show. For the people listening, for the people watching, I would just like to point out that I am not alone on a stage in an empty room. There are people here. So if you are so inclined, please make some semblance of noise to prove that I am not alone. Thank you. It's important not to be alone during the holidays. And if you're alone by choice on the holidays, good for you. That's not for everyone. Good for you. Could you see what I'm wearing? Could you see the pin? Could we do the pin really quick? Could we see the pin? You want me to turn it? Is that better or worse? That's good? Down, up. I feel like Price is Right. Thank you. Someone got it. That means we're good. So my pin says, "Come, let us adore him." Now, it features two things on the pin and a statement. "Come, let us adore him" is a statement, and the two things on the pin are Santa Claus and the baby Jesus. Now, I have two problems with this pin. Number one, it says "come," and then there's a space between the E and the exclamation point. Ladies and gentlemen, I work in the media. Why is there a space between the last letter and a punctuation? That is bad grammar, number one. Number two, why is there no end of the punctuation after him? That's the declarative sentence. A sentence requires a period. Why is there no period? That is my biggest problem with this button featuring the baby Jesus and Santa Claus. Ladies and gentlemen, you're at a holiday show. This is the holiday show. I hope it goes well. It might not. It's like a holidays. Anyways, this is our 5th edition. We've been doing this on and off since 2011. We've had lots of stories about all of the holidays. We've had stories about Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We've had stories about Halloween. We've had stories about All Saints Day. Clearly, we've done Christmas. We've done Hanukkah. We've done Kwanzaa. We've done all of the holidays. I was recently at a holiday party. It was an engagement party that was also part of Thanksgiving, and it was wonderful. I went to a wonderful party to celebrate the love my friend has with his new fiance. It's a wonderful time, and I couldn't have had a better holiday experience. And here's why I couldn't have had a better holiday experience. 2018 has been a long year for a lot of people. It was a long year for me. But every once in a while, you talk to someone that really changes your mind, really makes you think in different ways. And I met an individual that made me think in different ways. Now, I'm not going to say this person's name because he is a child. He is, in fact, a 4.5-year-old. And it's not okay to talk about a 4.5-year-old unless you are the parent of that 4.5-year-old. So I will refer to the 4.5-year-old as the 4.5-year-old. Anyways, I had a wonderful, wonderful exchange with this 4.5-year-old. And it really opened my eyes to lots of different things in the universe. We started talking about music. Now, like I said before, I work in the media. I'm surrounded by very talented musicians. We have a talented musician on the show tonight. I'm at a place called the Kennedy Center. There's talented musicians at the Kennedy Center 365 days a year. But this young gentleman, I asked him, who is your favorite band? Because he's got very strong opinions about favorite bands because he's a 4.5-year-old. You should have a strong opinion about a favorite band. I go, what is your favorite band? He goes, my favorite band is Kenny Chesney. Now, I have a problem with this because, number one, Kenny Chesney is not a band. Kenny Chesney is a man. He is a solo country artist. So number one, that 4.5-year-old is wrong. Number two, what does a 4.5-year-old know about drinking on the beach? To me, that was surprising. So I asked his father, who I do know. His name is Jake. That's how you know I'm not just randomly picking fights with 4.5-year-olds. I asked Jake, how does your son like Kenny Chesney so much? He goes, I have no idea. I think he heard him on the radio once, and he's his favorite. So we go back to Kenny Chesney, and I talk to the 4.5-year-old about Kenny Chesney. And I go, why is Kenny Chesney so good? He goes, Kenny Chesney is the best. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know about the world at all, but Kenny Chesney is not the best. I would say soap would be the best. Maybe medicine would be the best. Maybe human interaction would be the best. Kenny Chesney, not even in the top 10, but that's not what this is about. I go, why do you like Kenny Chesney so much? He goes, because he writes the best songs. And I go, that's not true. And he goes, because Kenny Chesney is 200 years old. And I go, that's blatantly not true. Now, he is a 4.5-year-old, and once you hit that point in a conversation with a 4.5-year-old, you're at a standstill. So when you're in a standstill with someone, what you do is you lift them upside down, and then you tickle their tummy, which is what you could do to a 4.5-year-old. And I did that because I am a good debater. It's okay to make noise. If you appreciate what I'm saying, it's perfectly fine to laugh. And if you want to boo me, please don't. I'm sensitive. Anyways, talk to the 4.5-year-old more after I put him down clearly because I'm a fair debater. I go, why is Kenny Chesney so good? He goes, he's 200 years old. And I go, he's not 200 years old. I soon found out that the young boy, the 4.5-year-old, recently saw dinosaur poop that day and got to touch dinosaur poop that day. And someone at the Children's Museum informed the children that the dinosaur poop is 200 million years old. So he associated the best things with dinosaur poop and Kenny Chesney and the number 200. So that's how we got to where we're at. Now, the father Jake chimes in. What's my favorite band? And he says, Pearl Jam. The young boy says, Pearl Jam. I go, you should listen to your dad. Pearl Jam is much better than Kenny Chesney. And the little boy, he looks me straight in the eyes. He goes, Pearl Jam is the worst. Now, once again, Kenny Chesney is not the best. Pearl Jam is not the worst. I'd say Genocide. That's number one, the worst. Genocide's number one, the worst. Soap is number one, the best. Kenny Chesney and Pearl Jam are somewhere in the middle, in the mixture. Neither the best nor the worst, but way more Team Pearl Jam. Here's why I like Pearl Jam more as a band. Because they're an actual band. They're not a solo country musician. Back to the boy. We get back into this heated debate. We go back and forth. We go back and forth. I won't stop expressing my opinion, and he won't stop expressing his opinion because this is America, and that's how we do things here. So he goes, Kenny Chesney's the best. I go, Pearl Jam is the best. He goes, Pearl Jam is the worst. I go, you're the worst. He goes, you're the worst. I go, Kenny Chesney's the best. He goes, Kenny Chesney's the best. I go, Pearl Jam's the best. He goes, Pearl Jam's the best. I go, I'm the best. He goes, you're the best. And I said, that's it. We're done. We debated. I am the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the holidays. You will debate with someone that you don't necessarily respect, but you love dearly. And they're going to say things you know are not true, like Kenny Chesney being 200 years old. He's 50, by the way. He's turned 50 in the year of 2018. Kenny Chesney is not 200 years old. He's 50. Back to the pin. This pin, I will not slow down, and I'd like to apologize. There will be a transcript of this show so we could all follow along. I'm from the Midwest. This is just how we talk, and I'd like to apologize for that. Oh, thank you for clapping for the Midwest. It's the best. I miss it dearly. But I'm glad to be here in the Kennedy Center. This place always looks like Christmas, and it makes me very happy, and I'm glad you're here, too. Anyways, back to the pin. We know Kenny Chesney is not 200 years old, right? We should know that because he is an adult man alive now. He's not 200 years old. He's 50. The baby Jesus in my pin is very Caucasian to be born in Egypt. So if Kenny Chesney can't be 200 years old, why can't baby Jesus be white? Santa Claus, I don't know if you guys know this, was actually created in American print in 1773. Before that, he was just Sinterklaas, which was a Germanic dude, had dealt with Odin, which predates Jesus Christ. So, if I'm able to wear a pin saying, "Come let us adore him," featuring Santa and a white baby Jesus, why can't Kenny Chesney be 200 years old? Why can't we spend the holidays with wonderful people that we love and maybe not respect, but we love them, and if they act out, we just flip them upside down and we tickle their tummy? That's what this show is. It's just it's hopefully a way for us to tickle each other's tummy in a consensual, loving way. That's what the show is tonight. Caroline Weinroth is here tonight. Caroline, are you here with me? Caroline is here. She is a very talented musician. She is the front woman of a fantastic band called Cinema Hearts. They're actually playing tomorrow night at a different DC cultural institution. They're playing Luce Unplugged. Luce Unplugged.
At the American Art Museum.
That's right. It's also a free show. Yeah. You're very talented. I'm glad you're here. She's back for the second holiday show that she's been part of. She's going to play a handful of songs tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Caroline Weinroth.
Hey, everyone. Thanks. This is my favorite holiday song that we should play more on the radio. It's a marshmallow world in the winter when the snow starts to cover the ground. It's a time for play, it's a whipped cream day. I wait for it all year round. So the marshmallow clouds looking friendly in the arms of the evergreen tree. And the sun is red like a pumpkin's head. It's shining so your nose won't freeze. The world is your snowball, see how it grows. That's how it goes whenever it snows. The world is your snowball just for a song. Get out and roll it along. It's a yummy world made for sweethearts. Take a walk with your favorite girl. It's a sugar date. What if spring is late? In winter it's a marshmallow world. In winter it's a marshmallow world. In winter it's a marshmallow world.
fantastic.
Thank
Is that a Kenny Chesney original?
No, I don't think he did that one, but if he did, I might like Kenny Chesney more.
Hey, we're not throwing Kenny Chesney under the bus. I would like to point that out. If you're a big Chesney head, I don't know what you're called. I'm assuming you're Chesney heads. Good for you. I hope you like Kenny Chesney. Have you ever wanted to drink tequila on a beach with Kenny Chesney?
I've had some bad experiences with tequila, so I don't do that.
Have you really? You're responsible, and you've learned from your mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you the same question I'm going to ask all of our guests this evening. How were the holidays for you as a child? What's a cherished holiday memory that you might have?
I think this is very strange and very childish, but I always loved playing with my dog on Christmas because I think
nice.
animals have a very different perspective of Christmas time.
What is the name of the animal that you grew up with?
He was a Labrador Retriever named Jake.
So you had a hug of an animal, a lab
Yes.
named Jake.
Yes.
Did you name the animal Jake?
No, that was the name that he came with.
That's
when I
nice.
first met him at 6 years old, I didn't like my dog, so I cried. But then we got to know each other better.
Why didn't you like your dog at 6 years old?
Because I did not comprehend that dogs were big,
Yes.
so I was afraid of this big dog as a small person.
I think the moral of this story is don't be afraid of big dogs.
No.
Yeah, that's a lovely message. So what you played your first of 5 songs, which you're going to do now. If it's okay with you, you're going to play one more song.
Sure.
Yes, and then while you play that song, our first guest is going to sit here, and I will disappear for roughly 30 seconds. Is that okay?
Do whatever you need to do, Brandon.
I do that all the time. It's still 2018, and I'm still a straight white man in America. I will never stop doing that. It's a
I wish
joke.
all white men
They're
could disappear.
jokes. They're jokes. Everything's fine. You're going to play a song?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is a song that you all probably know. There's a thing about sad holiday songs. So here's a sad classic. I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue just thinking about you. Decorations of red on a green Christmas tree won't be the same, dear, if you're not here with me. And when those blue snowflakes start falling, that's when those blue memories start calling. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas. You'll be doing alright with your Christmas of white, but I'll have a blue Christmas.
Caroline
Thank
Weinroth,
you.
everybody.
Thank you.
On stage with me is a very talented woman, and she's you're just a talented woman. You are the, let me get the complete title correctly, Religion, Faith, and Spirituality reporter for the Washington Post. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Julie Zauzmer, everybody. Julie, thanks for doing the show.
Thanks for having me, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Now, for the people that can't see, this is a balloon. Of who?
It's Santa Claus.
It is Santa Claus. We all know him from Odin. That's a callback.
Yes,
Anyways,
that's-
thank you for bringing this. Did you make this?
I did.
You made this
Yes.
because you are a talented balloon person.
I try.
Okay. What do you get more satisfaction doing? Reporting on religion or making balloons?
If I could have decided that, I would have picked one job already.
Fantastic. Could we talk about your day job then?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a reporter for the Washington Post. Before we go any further, holidays as a kid, do you have any memories that you still cherish to this day?
I grew up celebrating Hanukkah.
Okay.
And we made homemade gifts. And when you have 4 family members to give gifts to and 8 nights of Hanukkah, you realize by the time you're about 6 that you can't make 32 gifts. And so we started figuring out gifts that could be divided into 8 parts. So we would give a scavenger hunt where night after night you would be looking for your gift or a game that you could play 8 nights at a time.
That's
It was a
very
lot of fun.
cute. That's delightful. Is that what got you into ballooning?
No, but I did a lot of other crafts. I don't remember ever giving a balloon gift.
I think this is your future. Is it weird if I conduct the rest of the interview like this?
No.
Fantastic. Okay.
You and Santa.
I know this might be an uncomfortable question, but I'd really like for you to answer it as honestly as possible. Please rank all the religions from worst to best. Go.
I think I can't do that.
All right. So that's unfair. I apologize. Just tell me the name of the worst religion. No, we're not going to do
Is
that.
it
Okay.
bad that I have an answer in my
Oh,
head?
please. Off stage, will you tell me? Off stage? Off the record, off stage? Oh, I'm so excited for after the show. 7:02, I'm coming straight to you. Okay. So I read your work in the Washington Post, and I think it's fair to say that this has not been necessarily the best year for religion.
No.
Okay.
It's been a busy year.
It has been a busy year for religion. I think the three biggest stories have to deal with, two of which deal with the Catholic Church, specifically in Washington, D.C. There's the resignation of Archbishop Burley, and then sadly there's they're all sad, the Tree of Life's synagogue shooting, and your most recent story yesterday, it was about a Virginia priest under investigation for inappropriate conduct with adults and a minor. So, how has this changed your faith in any way?
I think that every story makes you think more deeply about your own faith. One
Okay.
thing this year has been, you're right, that we have spent a lot of this year focused on sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. And it's been more of a long-term sustained focus than I've brought to any story in the past few years. So yes, I've spent a lot of time thinking about how people believe in institutions that prove themselves to be deeply flawed, and how you keep your faith and how you separate that from the institution, or whether you do.
Do you think it's appropriate to separate?
In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. I think there are definitely times that people are blinded by wanting to believe so badly in something that they don't see the problems, and there are other times that there are people I deeply admire who figure out this is the core of why I loved this faith to begin with, and here's how we're going to fix it.
Could we highlight one of those people now? Could you mention someone that you did a story that maybe started out very sad and dark, and that person brought you to the light, brought you to the positives about the religion?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think of a good example. I think it's hard in the Catholic Church right now because it is such a rigid hierarchy, and a lot of the best efforts out there have been stymied by the hierarchy. Yeah. I can think of people who have stood up. I think here in Washington we've had, as you said, Cardinal Wuerl, who's our Archbishop for many years, resigned this year under a lot of pressure that came from very devout Catholics who want to be faithful members of this institution. There were school teachers in Catholic schools who stood outside the Basilica on the first day of school Mass this year and protested, and they wanted to be inside for Mass, and they couldn't do it. They said, I've got to speak up about the fact that the cardinal here, this Pennsylvania grand jury report had just come out showing that for years when he was Bishop of Pittsburgh, he was not consistently handling these abuse cases as they wanted him to.
It's not all negative, I promise you. There's a lot more show to go. There was a story from October that I enjoyed of yours about the Archdiocese of Baltimore that are creating alternative IDs for undocumented immigrants and other people that might not have an easy path to get a driver's license or something like that. That to me was like a very nice, the church is doing some good type of stuff.
Right, and the day-to-day work of the church absolutely does go on, even as we're consumed with the scandals and the very big bad things. In Baltimore, they're still saying, what can we do to help our community, which involves a large Hispanic immigrant community and the Catholics of Baltimore, and they're saying we can help people get IDs. That goes on day to day, but it's part of a larger institution where a lot of other things go on too.
Sure. The most interesting story that you've written this year that I've read was in September. The name of the story is What Draws Women to a Religion That Says a Man Should Be in Charge? And it's all about Southern Baptists. Now, I'm not here to say where the Southern Baptist Church is on your rankings, but please tell me after the show. I'm very fascinated. But what made you want to write this piece? It's a very interesting piece.
I started wondering about this question when a man named Paige Patterson, who some of you might have heard about this spring, who was a very powerful figure in the Southern Baptist Convention. He was really revered and really had a lot to do back decades ago with the Southern Baptist Convention taking the very conservative turn that it has taken. Paige Patterson was behind a lot of that. Nowadays, he was the president of a seminary, and it started coming to light first that he had given years of sexist sermons, and later that there were 2 rapes that had been reported to him that he had not handled properly when those rapes were reported to him. And he lost his job leading the seminary. And as we were reporting on all of those events and all of the really heartbreak among Southern Baptists about all of this, you have to get into theology when you're a religion reporter doing this. And you have to get into, well, what are the beliefs here that he espoused and that made him such an important figure? And in the Southern Baptist Convention, a lot of it is about gender. A lot of it is about coming from Paul, mostly coming from different parts of the New Testament, saying that men should be the leaders of their families and leaders in the church. Women should not preach. Women should not be pastors. And then, of course, you start thinking, well, there's millions of Southern Baptist women. They're not there because somebody's coercing them to be there. They're there because they deeply believe in this. This is something they love. And you start wondering why.
You are a woman.
Yes.
Did that come up in your reporting?
I think so. I mean, I think even if it doesn't come up explicitly, it does. It's easier and harder to be in certain spaces.
Do you feel like it was easier for you to write that piece because you actually have some expertise in being a woman, unlike I do?
I think it was easier for me to be in the room.
Okay.
Because I went to New Orleans to do this story where there was a week-long intensive program for women who are studying in Southern Baptist seminaries, which is a really hard thing to do, to be in a seminary that doesn't allow you to be ordained as a pastor. And so for me to sit in, I took a whole day-long class on women in the Old Testament with these women. I took a couple of other classes with them. And for me to sit there in that room was much easier, I think, because, I fit in a little bit.
Do you practice any religion now?
Yes, I'm Jewish.
And you're cool with that? You're happy with that? You're not looking to switch teams or anything like that?
I'm pretty happy.
Let's say you had to switch teams. Which religion are you going to? We've got a religion draft. Judaism is off the table. Where's your next religion?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's one thing that's great about spending a lot of time in religious communities is that I do find something to really love and admire about just about every community I spend time with, even if I don't espouse their beliefs.
Who's got the best food?
Oh, Southern Baptists actually do
So
really good
I would
food.
be Southern Baptist.
I went to a Mormon wedding this summer, which was amazing. Definitely they have the best weddings.
Please expound on that.
So you can't actually go to the ceremony because it's in the temple, which you can only enter the temple if you are Mormon.
Uh-huh.
So you wait outside the temple. And the temple's sort of a wedding factory. They've got all these chambers and lots of weddings going on at once. And every 10 minutes, another bride and groom step out of the temple having just been married. And all their wedding parties in their coordinated dresses are waiting outside. So you wait outside, and every 10 minutes, somebody steps outside, and you're screaming and cheering, and you're so happy for these strangers. And then, the red group leaves and takes their photos, and then the blue group is up next. And
So they're color coordinated.
Yes.
Okay,
So
good.
I was there for the pink group.
Pink group, okay.
And finally, we were there for 2 hours having the most joyful time. And finally, our bride and groom, who we were actually celebrating, came out of the temple. And then they have a big party with everyone they know, and they don't drink, so there's an ice cream bar instead, which is much better.
What about for the diabetics? That seems very rude for the diabetics and people concerned about their weight.
Mormons are really big on dessert, that's true.
Not a fan of that. I want booze. No, I'm sorry. All right, so we ended this segment with Mormonism. All right, cool. Is there one story that you wish you could have written this year that you think would make people's hearts happy versus all of the reporting that you've had to do, which is the opposite of happy?
We do, I will say, we have to do an annual Christmas story. As one thing as a religion reporter, there's many holidays that you must have a story in the paper on that day. So today we had our meeting about what's our annual Christmas story going to be. And a lot of the ideas that came up, we were saying, oh, but do people want to open the paper on Christmas Day and read about something that depressing.
Yes.
So, well, we hopefully, we'll see what happens, but we've got a couple of ideas that will hopefully be actually uplifting to read in your paper on Christmas.
Now, I don't know about you, but all the art I tend to like is tortured individuals. Like my favorite painter is Francis Bacon. His stuff is miserable. I like the music of Nirvana. That guy's miserable. I like films that are horrible. That makes me feel good. So I really want to read about the sadness on Christmas Day.
We've got sadness for you every day you open the newspaper.
Why is that not the tagline of the Washington Post?
I mean,
Stop with democracy dies in darkness.
dark.
We have sadness for you every day is the best one. People could find you at the local newspaper called the Washington Post. Let's not plug that anymore. We can find you doing balloon stuff where?
Balloonsbyzippy.com.
Balloonsbyzippy.com. And here's the best, most commercial/cute thing we could do. You have an Etsy store.
It's true. This is my new project that has been very quiet. I started this Etsy store over the summer to sell things that I knit while I'm on very long phone calls. And then nobody bought anything. And then all of a sudden it became Christmas. And now I'm frantically knitting because I have orders for 5 hats and 3 pairs of slippers and a scarf and this and that.
So you have a wonderful capitalist problem.
Yes.
What is the name of your Etsy store?
It's the same branding. I have
Oh, it's still
Balloons
Balloons by
And then
Zippy?
this is Knit by Zippy.
Knit by Zippy, K-N-I-T, by Zippy. One day, in theory, you'll be able to buy it on the Amazon store. Maybe.
Or else I'll get through this Christmas and then quit knitting, one or the other.
You'll be able to find her in Q2 of 2019 in the Amazon store with her boss, Jeff. He'll be your boss 2 different ways. Jeff owns the paper.
He does.
Yeah.
Really what he should put me in charge of is the balloon store, because the one product you can't consistently buy on Amazon is balloons.
Jeff, balloons, Julie, make it happen. Did I do it? I think I did it.
Yes.
This is what's going to happen. You're going to leave the stage. People are going to go online and buy your balloons and or your socks and stuff. But the socks and stuff are not guaranteed until after the holidays because she is a busy woman reporting on sadness. And then you could read her at the local paper, the Washington Post.net. And then, well, you go away. I'll miss you. She's going to play a song all about Amazon. Yeah. And then Gerard's going to come up here, and we're going to keep spending time together. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Julie Zauzmer. The name of the store, I know I mispronounced your name on that. I'm sorry. Knit by Zippy, Balloons by Zippy. Thank you.
Thank you. So some of you may have heard in the Washington Post that Amazon's coming to town. There might be excitement. There might be skepticism. Both are valid. But I think regardless, a lot of us are going to last-minute shop there. And I would say maybe instead of last-minute shopping on Amazon, we go to places on Etsy where we can get balloons. So this song is an original I wrote about the holidays and Amazon called HQ2 Holiday for all of you out there who are from National Landing. I love National Landing this time of year. There's lights on the sidewalk and flags with reindeer. From my office window, I watch the people below, their dress shoes getting soggy, collars white with the snow. Oh, I see them rush to the shops during their lunch hour. And instead, I'll use my time to scour Amazon.com, the only place I can get gifts for my mom and my dad and my dog and my brother too and my best friends and my boyfriend, and that's it. I'm not buying more gifts. Amazon.com. I don't even have to type in the .com. I visit so often from my Google Chrome. I use my enter key and then I'm home at Amazon. Amazon, no more Arlington. I live in Amazon, Virginia. An amazing, Amazon-mazing place to be. Yes, I know there's other places to go buy holiday gifts. But when it's cold, I'd rather go online where I can sit at home instead of steering my car through the sleet and ice. I only have 2-wheel drive, and I'd rather not slip, slide, and die when I have Amazon and Prime. But during this season, my package won't come on time. What to do? How can I buy a person and I love you? How can I be a mass consumer but unique and true? Oh, I know what I can do. I'll go to the Roslyn craft show and get something handmade for Mom. Then for Dad, I'll buy him a local restaurant gift card and he'll bring home leftovers for the dog. For my brother, maybe I'll write him a song. For my friends, I'll make them all holiday cards. And for my boyfriend, I know what he'd want. I bet he'd love to eat a brownie made in D.C. Made in D.C.
Caroline Weinroth,
Thank
everybody.
you.
That's a perfect way to transition to our guest. Hello, Coach. Should I call you by your birth name or your coach name?
I'll go by Coach.
Coach G's here, everybody. Coach G.
Gerard
Coach.
is long gone.
No, Gerard's here. You still have to file for taxes. Gerard's here, everybody. You run Sweat.
DC.
Sweat DC.
There we go.
All caps Sweat.
All caps, all day, all long.
I despise what you do. I like you so much. Okay, so please explain Sweat to the people here.
So Sweat, unlike what Brandon said, is amazing.
No, Sweat's amazing, but your whole industry is built on lies.
No, it's built on love.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's built on a different type of love.
Well, let's talk about what you do.
Yeah, all right. So it's a 45-minute workout party, lifting weights, running, jumping, burpees, all that fun stuff. And
Burpees aren't fun. Don't lie.
Burpees are fun.
No, they're not. Stop lying. Burpees at the end of the day, they're good for you, but they're not fun.
Well, it matters what type of fun you like, you know?
No, it doesn't. They're not fun.
Well, it's the opposite of the brownie, you know?
That's exactly true. That's why I wanted to do
It's a burpee
this.
made in D.C.
It's a burpee made in DC. So you run that.
But that, yes.
You run that.
And it's a party, so it looks like a party. It's a gym, but
When
it's
is the last time you were
lights
at a real party where there were burpees being done?
at 7:15 this morning?
That's right. Of course you were. Okay, so here's why I like you. You speak and coach from experience, no pun intended.
Yeah.
Yes, you have, here's your degrees. You have a bachelor's from UNC. You have a master's from CalU about this type of thing. I don't care about any of that. Damn. I like you because you actually played professional basketball in Italy.
Right.
So all of your workouts, to me, seem like it's actually coming from like a rational point of view. They're like, you're doing this to make this part of you stronger. It's not like spirituality stuff. And I understand that we're doing a holiday show and spirituality is important, but like when it comes to like exercise, get out of here. Let's be reasonable here. You work people out in a way that makes them physically full of pain in the right way. Does that make sense?
I guess so.
Yeah. You're not preaching the like, you're doing this for the greater good. You're doing this for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's for the greater good too. I mean, the thing about fitness, right? Like, one thing I talk about the fitness industry is we always talk about like you're gonna get this six-pack, you're gonna lose 30 pounds in 30 days, and the realistic part of it is like 80% of the people are never gonna hit that, right?
I know.
90% of people aren't gonna hit that, right? So I think you got to look at the other things you're gonna get from it, right? Stress relief. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna be able to deal with your in-laws around the whatever we were
Holidays.
around.
Just say holidays.
It's just like everything that
Yeah,
we're around.
it's everything. So another reason why I like yours, you kind of mentioned this now, yours is one of the few places that I've attended, I've probably been to like 10 or 20 of these places, that are like body positive in a not lying way. Like there's no excuse not to do a thing unless you're like missing a limb, because that's okay.
Right.
You can't do certain workouts.
And we got a variation for that.
Exactly.
Right.
It's wonderful. Did you think of that stuff? Are you trying to formulate all of your classes so literally everyone could do everything?
Yeah, I mean, our little motto is like we teach to the top and we make variations down. So no matter if you're on like a high-level basketball team or at a sporting place or whatever, like you're gonna have variations of degrees of intensity of like levels of people there. So a good coach should be able to make an alteration and still have you get a good workout without like saying you're too big, you can't do it, get out. Like
Yeah.
most places do, right?
Yeah, I've had that feeling. And, like, I'm not thin, but I'm not huge. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
2018 America, I'm in the middle. When I was a child and people were this size, there's a problem. Like, it's a wonderful time to be my size in this country. But you don't seem to hate people my size.
No,
and
we
that's
love
nice.
everybody. Yeah,
Yes, that's
it's
smart.
weird, right?
It is weird because you would think that'd be every gym. It's not.
No.
Let's talk about your childhood and get to Italy and then get to now.
Baltimore, you guys said Baltimore 3 times. I was counting in the last segment, so I was like dancing.
And all the good things we said about were Baltimore.
Yeah, it was
based.
all great, and you
That's the
never
only
hear,
good one.
like growing up in Baltimore, all you hear is like, "Oh, you're from Baltimore." Ooh, like we got crabs and all types of good stuff, or like, "Ooh, The Wire." I'm like, Jada Pinkett is from Baltimore. Billie Holiday, right? All
But you
these
got things
fun
like The
things.
Wire.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
The Wire was good though.
Did you enjoy your childhood in Baltimore?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I thought Santa was real.
Who says he's not?
Yeah, got this pen.
And this
to prove
balloon.
it, right? No, it was cool. I think my favorite part actually when I got a little bit older and did find out he wasn't real, because then we were.
No one said that.
I mean,
Children.
I heard,
Children.
I heard
Children.
on Instagram. A week before Christmas or so, like my brother and I would go on scavenger hunts to try to find the presents, and we would find it every year. My mom would move it every year, and we'd find it every year. So it's like,
That's so nice.
get in there.
This is the second scavenger hunt present-based
really?
story we've had tonight. That's very weird. I've never done that. You were an overweight child.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be doing this if you weren't overweight as a child?
Yeah, I think I would have a different perspective, right? I think people who have like always been a certain shape or always been a dynamic, woke up with a six-pack type people don't understand what it feels like to like feel out of place.
Yeah.
So they're like, "What's wrong with you? Just pick it up. Just be it or don't be it. Be your best you or no." Right.
That sounds like all the classes I've been to that
Right.
aren't yours.
Come on, bro. Like pound it.
I'm
Like
not gonna
that.
do that. I've already said how
Pound
much
free
I like
stage.
Pearl Jam, so I can't say I'm not a bro, but you know what I mean. Okay, growing up in Baltimore, you're an overweight kid. I'm guessing that's a lot different than being not an overweight child playing professional basketball in Italy.
Yeah.
So when you were playing basketball in Italy, you were there for 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years over there. It was fun.
How were the holidays in Italy?
It's awesome. I mean, the one thing that you understand when you leave America is that everything's not so capitalistic or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever the word is.
That's the right word.
Yeah. But like, I mean, they have organic relationships with their families, and they really love each other, and they really like sit together and they eat all of like Christmas Eve. They just eat and eat and eat and.
That doesn't sound like what you do in America now.
No. It's like go to the mall and spend more money. And
Do you
all
eat
that
and
stuff.
eat and eat on Christmas Eve with your family?
No, I mean Christmas Day we do a little bit.
Okay.
But I come from a fun dysfunctional family, so
Sure.
you never know what's gonna happen.
Do you like your family?
Yeah, occasionally.
That's nice.
yeah.
Are you
I
gonna-
love them.
Like in the past
Love
tense?
is different than love.
Love. You love them,
love.
not like them.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't like.
What do they think about your career?
Oh, they love what I do. Yeah.
Are you worried about your own joints?
Oh, they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah.
like, are you worried that you're not going to be able to teach class in 10 years?
Oh, the plan is to not teach that much next year.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
Are you worried about getting out of shape? Because I've seen you without your shirt many times. Your tattoos are the best. You wore a sweater that has buttons on the side simply to show off your star tattoos.
God, if
on
you're
your
not
collarbone.
showing the tattoos, what are you really doing?
Lots of things in life. So, are you worried that you're going to be not in shape enough to be able to show off the tattoos on your body?
No, I mean you can always get in. I mean the thing is to ebb and flow, and you just rock it out. However you got it.
What is the one thing you wish every class, not the classes that you teach, but every other class that you've incorporated into your classes that you wish everyone else had?
I think people forget about at the end of the day it's supposed to be fun, right? Like even if it's a hard class or whatever, like the power of just enjoying a small amount of it, because you, for example, have been scarred by so many negative fitness experiences over the last,
Ever.
30-some years of your
36,
life,
36.
right? But like that might have been different if someone maybe encouraged you, or maybe you made it a game or whatnot. You could have been sitting right here, right now, enjoying fitness, and us loving that together.
I do enjoy the fitness part. I just hate the class part. I like alone, which is very weird. Cause like
that's a real guy thing, though. Too.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a real straight white male.
Thank you so much.
Kind of thing.
Thank you for catering to my gender and everything
Who can
else
do
in
whatever
2018.
he wants to do.
It's more like I grew up playing sports, and I could still tell you like the 3 coaches I enjoyed, and the rest, the norm, were bad, and like they made doing burpees a miserable experience. Where if I'm like alone, or if you're teaching me, I'm fine to do them.
And that's a lot of that. Honestly, is like one thing you'll hear about athletes is like a lot of athletes hate. Like I hate running, right? Because running was punishment since I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So like it's been programmed in your head that this is like you got to do this, and it's coaches are kind of mean to you sometimes.
Let's end with some tangible advice that you can give people that want to work out because they know it's good for their brain, it's good for their body, but they're going home for the holidays and they're with people that don't work out and might throw some shade at you because you want to work out and they just want to eat cookies and be mean. What do you say to those people?
Yeah, one, get new family, first of all.
I've been trying for no, that's me. That's me. I like everyone. Go ahead.
No, I would say you gotta really do that stuff before you get your day started.
Okay.
Even if it's like alone, if you got a room or whatever, like I'm gonna say, hey, even if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, I'm gonna do a little bit. Because the thing about the holidays that people don't get is like you're not getting better over the holidays, right? If you can maintain, you're winning. Most people are gaining most of their weight from October into the end of the year. So if you come out in this January 2nd and you're like, oh, I only gained a pound or 2, or I'm just a little squishy, that is a win. So mentally know that, and then go into the next year like, all right, I'm about to hit it hard.
That's wonderful because most people just beat themselves up and
Right.
it's just a
I
cycle.
can't believe during the time when everyone's drinking and eating, I gained weight.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yes, you did.
I had cookies for breakfast today.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Did you?
No, I lied to you. I had a cookie last night. I was thinking about having one for breakfast. I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I always get it because I always eat that because it's got a lot of fiber in the bread, and peanut butter's not that bad for you. So it's like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah, when jelly is kind of like eating a cookie anyway.
Yeah, I know. It's
A
not
little
that good for
secret,
you.
if you're going to eat a cookie, eat it for breakfast. It's the best time.
Okay.
Because you burn it out the rest of the day.
So that's the tip we're going to go for. Only eat cookies for breakfast,
Perfect.
says Coach G from Sweat.
Right.
I recommend your stuff on Brady Chunk Things on the internet side all the time. I legitimately like you. I like what you do. You're an inspiration to people. And if I think you are a good gift, give a gift to Sweat. But is there a way to give a gift?
Like me or Sweat?
No,
Just
give a
like
gift. No, that's weird. Give a gift to the place that you run Sweat. But the problem is that telling your friends, your family, your in-laws, like, hey, you're fat. You know what I mean? Is there a way to give that gift without being offensive?
Say, I love you so much, and I know you love yourself. So here, it gives the gift that keeps on giving.
No, that's not good. That's not a good one at all. I think you got a way to do it. Be like, no, there's no way to give a gift like what you do to not say
Really?
it's an
Like
insult.
what? It's not always just about being fat. Like,
Yeah, but it's the holidays, and look at me. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. Anyways, this is not about me. This is blatantly about me. Thanks for coming to the
all
show.
about you.
I like you. People could follow you where?
On Instagram at Coach G Fitness, or hit us up sweatdc.com, and we're actually doing a holiday 2-week free pass for people to come check us out.
I highly recommend him, and I speak from experience. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together
like
for
this.
Coach G. Caroline will now play a song.
We talked a little bit about things and Christmas and how that's very American. So here's another classic song about that. Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa baby, a 54 convertible to light blue. I'll wait up for you, dude, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Think of all the fun I've missed. Think of all the fellas that I haven't kissed. Next year I could be just as good if you'll check off my Christmas list. Santa baby, I want a yacht, and really that's not a lot. been an angel all year, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa cutie, one little thing that I really need, the deed to a platinum mine, Santa baby, so hurry down the chimney tonight. Santa honey, and fill my stockings with a duplex and checks. Sign your X on the line, Santa baby, oh hurry down the chimney tonight. Come and trim a Christmas tree with some decorations bought at Tiffany. I really do believe in you. Let's see if you believe in me. Santa baby, forgot to mention one little thing, a ring. I don't mean on the phone, Santa baby, so hurry down my chimney tonight. Hurry down my chimney tonight. Hurry down my chimney tonight.
Caroline Weinroth, everybody. That song seems problematic. Everyone on stage with me is the most qualified person to be on stage tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Shivonne Odom, everybody. Siobhan, could I list all of the things that you are?
Sure.
Siobhan is a licensed professional counselor. Siobhan is a national certified counselor. Siobhan is a licensed clinical professional counselor. Thank you for taking time to spend with us during your busy season.
Thank you.
Now, do you do house calls?
You know, I do sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've gone to houses.
Yeah.
That seems like a dangerous scenario.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, really? So do you regret doing that? Do you still do that?
Only for my pregnant moms.
Okay.
Only for my pregnant moms.
What is the typical call from a pregnant mom?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna melt down, and I think that everybody hates me, but maybe I hate everybody too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you think it's healthy to hate everyone while you're pregnant or around a pregnant person or a human being?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. How often do you hate everyone?
Never.
Oh, that's a lie. Okay,
No.
here's how I know that's a lie. Because you're a human being. It's natural.
Yes,
it's
yes,
natural. We
yes,
should
yes.
embrace the hate so that we could get past it. Am I a therapist now?
A little.
No, I'm not. That's a lie. Now, I think people like you should be paid more, but I also think that therapy should be free. So, you know, I mean, this is the weird conundrum. How often do you have to explain to people what you do?
Oh my gosh, like all day, every day.
Really?
Family reunions, family functions, next door neighbors, the car wash. Yeah.
Are you super high in demand because you work in the area?
Mm-hmm. So it goes in waves. This is prime time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from now until Valentine's Day, definitely prime time.
And then the spring thaw happens? Like, why would it cool off?
I don't know, maybe because they've been going to Sweat DC.
There you go.
and,
Nice
they're
plug for
looking and
Sweat
feeling
DC,
good.
everybody.
I
You're
don't
good with
know.
the plugs. Now, here's the thing. I've gone to a therapist. I'm waiting to get back to my therapist. I miss my therapist. Is that a weird thing to say?
No.
Okay. Mm-hmm. My therapist actually recommended you tonight for the show. Is that a weird
Thank
thing?
you. No.
Okay, good. I will not say my therapist's name because I am on a waiting list and I don't want anyone else to sign up with her. Are you accepting new clients?
I am.
That's rare.
Yes, I am.
Do you ever reject a client?
Yes.
Why? Besides the insurance not clearing, why would you reject a client?
Because it's personality. Sometimes personalities do not click. Sometimes there are clients where I recognize, hey, there's another therapist that could really help you get your life together, and it's not Shivonne.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you see a therapist?
Yes.
How long have you been with your person?
I've been with her for about 2 months now.
Oh, so it's a newish thing.
Yes.
Is it working out?
It is. It is.
How do you know if it's working out? Because I think that's one of the most difficult things about therapy. It's sort of like a blind date, but at the same time, you're paying someone to hear you talk.
No, you're absolutely right.
So how do you know it's going well?
Well, that's a really good question. One, I'm the type of therapist, I like to pay attention to see if my therapist is listening. I like to see if my therapist looks like they care. And also, I like to just also make sure that my therapist is awake.
Have you gone to therapy and your therapist has fallen asleep?
No, but I've heard that there have been some that have.
Have you fallen asleep?
No,
Okay, that's
no.
good. That's a good start. Do you drink a lot of coffee?
No.
How often do you want to fall asleep during a therapy session?
It's happened every now and then.
How often do you want to tell the person, this is not a real problem? Or are you always like, problems are problems, we all have them?
No, I'm a brutally honest therapist. I will tell you. Let's really think about this.
Okay,
This
so
is really a problem.
let's not name names because clearly you won't. So I would love to know the names off stage, though. Please, Social Security numbers are provided. What is the most common, like, this is not a problem type of problem?
I don't know because it differs, between like by context. Like, I have every now and then had clients that may not have liked a person in their life, and they think it's a problem because they have people in their life that are like mowing the lawn, washing the car, washing the clothes, making dinners. And they're just like, I can't stand this person.
So you're saying that this guy does not like his wife, is what you're saying?
Or it could be a woman that doesn't like, their girlfriend or whatnot.
But
Yeah.
which one was it?
It was all of the above.
Really?
Yes.
I think you're lying to me. I think that was a mean man. Okay. What's the most typical Christmas/holiday related problem that you get in your job?
Oh my gosh. I can't stand my mom and I've got to go spend the holidays with my mom, or I can't stand my dad. Oh, there's another one. In-laws.
I'm lucky. I like my in-laws. No qualifiers. I'm not just saying this because I'm on a stage. I tell them to their face. I like you people. So I don't know how that is, but I understand it from everyone else's perspective when it comes to my stuff. Like, I don't like me a lot of the time, so I understand when they're like, ooh, they got to see this dude. I get that. How can I be not a dick? Answer the never-ending question of me.
Well, I always say, like, watch your tone of voice.
I'm very bad with that. You've seen the whole show tonight.
Yeah, watch your tone of voice and posturing.
Am I doing a good job or a bad job?
Oh, your
posture
posturing
right
is
now?
excellent
Oh,
right now
good.
because you're in tune. You're leaning in.
Or I'm going to turn into a crone. You know what I mean? It's one or the other. So what do you tell? This is actually like the most important question. What do you tell someone to maybe open their mind to therapy? Because I think clearly everyone should go for it. I don't think it's necessarily a sign of weakness to see someone like you. If anything, it's a sign of strength. It means you care about yourself. You're trying to make yourself better to make the world better. But if they're not there yet, what do you say to that person?
Two things. Nothing beats a failure but a try. And two, I mean, most people don't understand that therapists are also allies. Like, we're also trained to root for you. You can, to yourself, you can think that you're the most horrible person in your friend's life, your neighborhood's life, but your therapist is your number one champion. I mean, come on. You're going to turn down meeting somebody that thinks you're great and they, you just walked in.
What if they just don't have that love of self? What do you come back with?
Well, I always tell individuals that therapists are always here. We're not going anywhere.
There needs to be more of you.
We're not going anywhere.
Do you have any positive moments in your childhood in terms of the holidays that you like to think of this time of year?
Oh, wow. Waiting for Santa, watching Christmas movies.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, there's like, I would have to say all the claymation ones with like Rudolph.
Sure.
And the snowman.
Yeah, the snowman. That counts. What are you going to do this Christmas?
I'm going to spend Christmas in Michigan.
Is that good or bad?
It's going to be different this year.
How are you traveling to Michigan?
By airplane.
That's smart. I've driven to Michigan. It sucks.
Yes, it does.
Do you want to get heavy or no?
No, yeah, that's fine.
What recently happened in your family over the holidays?
My mom died suddenly the day after Thanksgiving.
I'm very sorry that happened, and I'm very grateful that you were willing to come and talk about that on the show this evening. How are you coping?
I'm coping by anxiously looking forward to see my therapist this week. Yeah.
I know that sounds mean, what I'm going to say, and I hope it doesn't come off of that, but I think the fact that you are literally the expert and you're saying the only thing that, not the only thing, but one of the things that are making your life a little bit better and in this very sensitive time is more therapy, is talk and making that eye contact and opening yourself up. And I'm very grateful that you did that this evening, and I want to thank you for doing that. And I'm trying not to like get to super sadness here, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to ignore the obvious in the room.
Thank you.
Let's end with a very a dumb question, because that in theory should make everyone feel better or worse. A gentleman came on stage tonight and lied, and he said Santa doesn't exist. And we all know Santa exists. What do we tell the liars in our lives that Santa, when they say Santa doesn't exist, and you're like, well, you're a liar. How do you confront liars like that?
You know, I just say that perception is reality, and my perception is my reality. And for my nieces that are listening, Santa is real.
That's right. And that other man is a liar. We've heard so many songs about Santa. We're going to hear one more, not about Santa. If people are interested in seeing you, can they actually do that?
Yeah.
Where can they do that? Or how can they start that process?
You can also find me on Instagram, too.
I love how Instagram is now the thing that we use to sell gyms and therapy. It's supposed to be food. Like, that's the thing. But anyways, on Instagram, how are you on Instagram? How are you? What is your handle on Instagram? I apologize.
Akoma, AKOMA _counseling.
And then the website is actually a little bit easier.
Yes, it's AkomaCounselingConcepts.com.
And if they just Google your name, which is in the program, which is in the YouTube description of the show if you're watching it, which is in the podcast description if you're listening, there's a link there. Most everyone I know that goes to a therapist in D.C. had a real tough time finding a therapist in D.C. That's probably the biggest hurdle in Washington, D.C. You accept most major insurers?
Yes, I do.
That's important. If we are lucky enough to have insurance, they will accept it, and it will make your life better. The fact that you've gone this far with us tonight and you're still at least pretending to make eye contact and pretending to care, clearly I need therapy. Clearly we all need therapy. We're all trying. Before we end, Caroline's going to play one last song. I would like to thank the staff here at the Kennedy Center. They do a fantastic job. They do this 365 days a year. They had a tuba show here earlier this week. How many tubas were here? You could yell it out if you know. 300 tuba players were here. That is annoying. I don't care how good that is. Imagine the sound check of 300 tuba players. That is a difficult thing to do. There are there's 3 camera people here tonight. They got to shoot all those tubas. That's a lot of tubas. There's people blowing tuba smoke everywhere. Tuba smoke's not a thing. It sounded like Hoobastank. What are your thoughts on that? Nope, this is the holiday show. We're going to stick with the holiday thing. Hoobastank was a band. You might know them. We're the same age. Anyways, Caroline's going to end the show. It's a song about New Year's Eve. Is that correct? Yeah. And I know that she's going to see Hoobastank this New Year's Eve, so she's very excited to see them. It's a lie. Maybe it's not a lie. We didn't talk about what you're
on the stage tonight.
You've been to the show once. I would like to clearly thank all of our guests. I want to thank Siobhan. I want to thank Gerard, who is Coach G, and I want to thank Julie. Finally, I want to thank Caroline. Ladies and gentlemen, for one last time, Caroline Weinroth.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. And I just want to say Happy New Year to you all. I'm Caroline, my band Cinema Hearts, and you can find us online, too. Here's a song for you. Maybe it's much too early in the game. Oh, but I thought I'd ask you just the same. What are you doing New Year, New Year's Eve? Who's gonna be the one to hold you tight when it's exactly 12 o'clock at night? Welcoming in the new year, New Year's Eve. Maybe I'm crazy to suppose I'd ever be the one you chose. Out of 1,000 invitations you'd receive. Oh, but in case I stand one little chance, here comes the jackpot question in advance. What are you doing New Year's Eve? What are you doing New Thanks, everyone. Happy holidays.
Thank you. We're done. Thank you so much for coming out, and have a wonderful holiday, everything. And Kenny Chesney is not 200 years old, and Pearl Jam is better than Kenny Chesney. Good night, everybody.
Thank you for joining us at Millennium Stage.